Okay, chapter 12, creating custom forms and using macros. After studying this chapter, you will be able to activate and use hidden ribbon tabs, create and use custom forms, create and run macros, edit your created macros, use macros across documents. So creating a custom form. Content controls allow you to create checkboxes, text fields, drop-down lists, etc. The developer tab is hidden by default. So you have to go in and select the developer tab in order for that to come up. So starting off, let's go ahead and open up your thumb drive. We're going to open W12D1 patient info. And of course, the first thing we're going to do is a file save as. We're going to browse. Make sure you're on your thumb drive. And we're going to just change it to W12D1 patient info revised. And hit save. Once you save it, we're going to go to File, and then we're going to Options. We're going to select Customize Ribbon. And we're going to check the developer box and click OK. So if you look on the right-hand side, I'm going to find developer. I'm going to check that box, and I'm going to hit OK. So after you select developer, hit OK. Then we're going to turn on design mode by going to developer. And then under controls, we're going to select the design mode. Okay, once we select design mode, we're going to add content controls. So place the insertion point after the colon at the end of the first form line, labeled today's date. And we're going to tap the space bar. Then we're going to choose developer. Once again, under controls. And we're going to select the date picker control. Okay. So after you add in your date picker, we're going to implement the controls as shown, remembering to place the insertion point after the colon at the end of each line. So we're on page 358, number 6. So on patient name, we're doing a rich text content control. So patient name, patient phone number, patient date of birth. We're going to do the date picker once again. And for insurance, we're going to do checkbox controls.
Yes, space bar, and then
Okay. And now we're going to place the insertion point after the colon at the end of the last line. We're going to tap the space bar. And we're going to do a drop down list content control for doctor. Once you get that, we're going to go ahead and select properties under the design or developer and controls. We're going to select properties. And then we're going to fill out that form on page 359. So title is doctor. We're going to tell it to use a style to format the text. And we want it to be strong. So that is the first part on what it should look like. After that, we're going to go ahead and click add, and we're going to enter in those 4 doctors: Dr. Morgan, Dr. Young, Dr. Baylor, and Dr. Bunnett. Yes. Once you get those entered, we're going to go ahead and click on Dr. Baylor, and we're going to move that up twice. So Dr. Baylor, and move up, move up. And then we're going to do the same thing to Dr. Bunnett. We're going to move that one up twice. Our bunt. Once you're done with that, we're going to click OK. So once you click OK, we're going to click on design mode to turn those editing off. So now we're going to go ahead and restrict editing to our document. So under developer, we're going to go ahead and select the box under protect that says restrict editing. Yes. And we're going to check the box to allow only this type of editing in this document. Box. Allow only this content type of editing. We're going to select filling in forms. And then we're going to select yes, start enforcing protection. And then click OK. Now we're going to turn off the developer tab by opening up the Word options. So file and back to options. We're going to go to customize ribbon. And we're going to uncheck developer. And then we're hitting OK. And we're saving the file. Okay. Automating tasks with macros. Record a series of steps with the macro recorder. You can assign macros to a toolbar or a keyboard shortcut. You can store macros in the normal.dotm template to make them available for all documents, or you can store them only in the current document. Macros make your life way easier. You're able to have it do certain things with keystrokes. Maybe you're doing a new document, you're editing stuff, you're always doing the same stuff inside of a document, having a macro that's already pre-recorded that does it for you each time makes things a lot easier. There are recording limitations. The recorder does not record scrolling, selecting from drop-down list, or resizing windows. Certain commands are grayed out, but there are some alternative techniques. You can use commands from a dialog box. You can use arrow keys to select. So just because you can't scroll using a scroll bar, there's other ways around doing certain things. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a new blank document. So you can either go to File and New, or you can hold down the Control key and press N, and that will give you your new document. Once you have your blank document, we're going to go to View in the ribbon. We're going to go to Macros. We're going to click the drop down button and we're going to select Record Macro. For the name, macro name, we're typing in survey form. And we're going to store this in all documents. Once you do that, go ahead and hit OK.
Invalid procedure.
Okay, so now we're recording our macro. We're going to go to Home on the ribbon, under Styles, and we're going to click on No Spacing. Yep. And then we're going to go to Home, and under Font, we're going to select Bold. And then we're going to type in Raritan Clinic East Pediatric Diagnostic Specialties. Okay, after we type that in, we're going to go to layout. We're going to go to page setup and orientation. So layout, page setup, orientation, and we're changing it to landscape. And then under layout, page setup, we're going to go to margins. And we're going to select custom margins at the bottom. And for the top and bottom, we're doing a 0.4. And for the right or left and right, we're doing a 0.5. And then we're going to select the paper tab. And we're going to set the width to 7 and the height to 5. Okay, once you do that, go ahead and hit OK to apply the settings. And then we're going to go to View, go to Macros, and stop recording. Okay. After that, we're going to go to View. We're going to close the document without saving it. So we're going to close this document. And we're going to say don't save. Close the document without saving. Yep, file close and don't save. And then we're going to create a new document. And after you create your new document, we're going to go to View, Macros, and View Macros. And once you see it, go ahead and tell it to run. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close this document without saving. And then we're going to open another blank document, file and new. Okay, so editing macros with the VBA editor. So VBA is the macro language running in Office 2021. It's the program code for the steps recorded in a macro are stored in a Visual Basics module. So basically, I think some of us have already looked at what that code looks like, but we're going to go ahead and dive into that. You can increase your efficiency running macros by assigning them to a button on the access bar. Of course, if you're running a macro, you might see this before, where it wants you to edit security to be able to enable those macros. Delete a macro when it's no longer required. That way, it's not in your documents. Okay, we're going to go to View and then Macros. And then macros are View Macros. We're going to click on Survey Form and click Edit. And that should bring up your Visual Basic. So now we're going to look for the word specialties, and we're going to change that to specialist.
That's so weird.
Yep, leave it inside the quotation marks. And then we're going to change the top and bottom margin from 0.4 to 0.5. Okay, so once you have changed your top and bottom margin from 0.4 to 0.5, we're going to go to File and we're going to go to Close. File, close, and return to Microsoft. And then we're gonna go back to macros, view your macro, and tell it to run. Okay, once that's done, we can go to layout. We're gonna go to page setup. Once again, underneath, we're gonna go to margins. We're gonna go to custom margins. And you will see that your top and bottom margins are set to 0.5 now, instead of the 0.4 that we did. So now we're gonna go ahead and close this dialog box. We're gonna go ahead and close this file and open a new blank document. So don't save it, file and new, blank document. So once you have your blank document, we're gonna go to file. We're going to options, quick access toolbar, which is on the left. And we're going to choose commands from. So right here on the left where it says choose commands from, it should say popular commands. We're going to change that to macros. And then you should see so you're selecting macros. You're selecting the normal.newMacro.survey form. Ensure for all documents is up on the top. We're going to hit add. And then we're going to hit OK. And then last but not least, we have macro security. Okay. So W12D5, we're going to go to file. We're going to options. We're going to go down to Trust Center. Trust Center settings. And this is where you're able to modify your macros. If you want to disable or enable them for your different settings. So we're going to hit cancel twice to get out of this. And then we're going to go back to view, macros, and macros again. We're going to delete the survey form. Click yes to delete. Close the box. And then we're going to go back to file, options, quick access toolbar. And we're going to remove the normal new macro from the quick access toolbar. And hit OK. Okay. Exit Word. And you are done.